Sir, he is the senior most in our team and he is a highly qualified Air Force SSB instructor, okay, who has done 15 years plus years in service in SSBs and interview. Sir is placed in Noida, sir?
No, Gurgaon.
Gurgaon. And he is with us for last 3 years and आप लोगों का most of the Air Force का concept sir clear करते हैं. Plus he does the CPSS also, जो PABT पहले होता था अब CPSS है and sir ही अपना को guide करते हैं बच्चों को. And most of the boys and girls जिनका interview हुआ है sir से, I think except for मानसी दीदी और एक आध बाकी सब clear हो गए. ठीक है, all have been become. So it gives due credit and good luck from Vijay Kukrana sir. Jain sir, say Jain to sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your kind words.
Sir, I hand over to you to Priya for the basic interview and boys and girls. A lot of boys and girls are online also and offline also.
Okay, Priya. So since this is going to be your first attempt, doesn't matter. We'll firstly go quickly through what would be the basic points which we should keep in mind for the interview. So first thing is obviously how you dress up. It doesn't really make world of a difference. You can be formal, informal, the way you're dressed up also, it's absolutely fine. When you enter, there is definitely a sort of nervousness. So when you enter, try to go with a smile. Go and stand by the side of your chair and keep your arms by your side. Don't be defensive, don't put them at the back. Make sure that you wish correctly as per time of the day. That's the first thing you're going to say. So if it's morning, you must make sure it's a good morning. And after that, if the interviewing officer so feels wants to give a handshake, he extends his hand, walk up. If not, he'll ask you to sit down. When you sit down, say thank you. Sit towards the back of your chair so that your back is upright. Don't like I am sitting crouched. Keep your arms wherever you feel, on the handrest or on your lap, wherever you feel comfortable. It doesn't make any difference. If you happen to have a handshake, keep it firm. Don't make a limp handshake. When you give a handshake, it should be firm. The most important thing is to keep looking into the eyes of the interviewing officer throughout the interview. You will be sitting at a reasonable distance, therefore you have to speak loudly. Otherwise, the last part of your words get eaten up. Don't be flat in your tone. Okay? There are certain areas where you need emphasis. The way I am talking to you, same way, there need to be emphasis where required. Don't be flat in your tone. The basic marks are given into the details that you provide. Okay. Therefore, do not presume that the interviewing officer would know this, that. Give the details as much as you know, but stick to the question asked. Do not go off track. Give details to the questions asked. That means the details should be relevant. Okay. So, like this is one of the techniques where we are assessing the OLQs. So, in this case, we will be assessing you for your thought process, which is going to come out in the form of words. Okay, so many times what happens is that English में बोलने के चक्कर में sometimes you're not getting the right sentence or you say something whereas you're thinking something else. Do not let that. Don't put your mind under any stress for want of words or sentences. Speaking in Hindi is not negative. जहाँ पे भी फंसते हो हिंदी में बोलो और आगे निकलते जाओ. Let your mind be clear. And whatever you speak should be expressing your mind. Do not tell lies. झूठ बिल्कुल नहीं बोलना. If you don't know anything, acknowledge it and make sure that whatever you are not being able to answer, you should update yourself on those points before you go for final interview. कई बार क्या होता है कि final interview में the questions which you have left unanswered, वो question आपसे पूछे जाते हैं. And if you answer those questions, it increases your chance of recommendation.
Okay, sir.
So these are some of the basic do's and don'ts about the interview. The opening of the interview is always to make you comfortable. Therefore, it will be something with which you are familiar. Okay, it can be about the place you come from, all the details, some historical background, some facility there, whatever the goods, whatever the bads, whatever you know about that, go about in an organized way. Or about your travel details, when did you start, how all, what were they, you have to give. So from the time you got your call for SSB till now, what all have you done? So these are simple things which would be, asked, so that you are already aware of these things. So when you're traveling, make sure if it's a day journey, at least you know your train, you know the important stations which came en route, and how was your journey, and also these things would be there. So basically anything would be there to make you comfortable. Once the interviewing officer feels comfortable, then he will start the interview. Now you see, this is a two-way process. You are hearing your own voice. When you go, as I told you, whatever anybody may say, that nervousness is always there. But once you start hearing your own voice, you're talking about something with which you're familiar. Therefore, what happens is your confidence goes up, and to the interviewing officer, it gives a first impression as to how much is the candidate aware of what he is already knowing.
Okay, sir.
The questions are going to be clubbed. So that means 5-6 questions are going to be put together and then asked. So what are the important aspects now? There are two things. One is you have to remember the questions. And the second thing is you have to answer the questions. You must try to answer all the questions without being reminded.
Yes, sir.
And the sequence doesn't matter. But you must answer. So once again, emphasis is on details. Listen to the questions and provide whatever details possible you can to the questions asked.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now the very important part of the interview is also your PIQ. Because before a candidate comes, the interviewing officer will go through the PIQ, and then he will mentally frame questions which are to be asked, and then based on the output, the interview keeps developing. Do not let the interview become a question answer session. Once the questions are asked, try to keep speaking. Ideally, 20-80 or 30-70, that means interviewing officer should be speaking less and candidate should be speaking more. Once the interview starts, do not stop or hesitate in between. Keep answering whatever you know, whatever you feel. At the end of the interview, I will give you a debrief, followed by if you have any questions to clarify, and then we'll open to the other people also, so that we clear all doubts before the thing is over. Right?
Yes, sir.
So, Prival, we will start the interview now. Presuming that you come, you wish me correctly.